Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and I thought I'd do my top 5 Knipex tools I used during the year. Obviously anything like a Cobra is definitely going to be on the list, as well as the twin grip. I'm going to include this as an also ran in that it is the 300. I started using the little bit larger one, and just that leverage and grip, that's wonderful, but that's not going to count as one of these just yet. Let's see, number 1, right here. This is the 9512-200. This is a cable shear, and as you can see, it's got a kind of a very large set of cutting jaws right here at the bottom, plus the kind of pear-shaped, almost circular ability to cut stranded cable at the top, and this thing just dives right through Romex like there's no tomorrow. Absolutely no problem. Easily, I mean, it is fairly large, but I can easily grab this thing with one hand, even choked up on it, and just pop right through it. So if you need to cut Romex without, a lot of effort, the 9512-200 is the answer. Next, how about this? This is the 8111-250. It's a Cobra-esque plier here, except it uses soft jaws, and I have found this to be really handy for all kinds of things, whether it's designed for that or not. It can get a little spongy, and I have kind of mashed this up a little bit. I've used it everything from rotating optics and lenses, removing filters like camera filters off of big lenses, grabbing some softer material that I need to rotate, even things that you might not think, like I'm using it on some wood that I don't want to mar with pliers, but I try to need to hold it still for whatever I'm doing with it. Anyway, these just come in handy. It is kind of a fringe tool, but if you need something like this, this is a great option. And along that same line, number 3 here are the Knipex 8551-180s. These are the small kind of hose clamp pliers. Very simple. They don't lock. I wish they would. There is a larger one that locks, but I wish they had a smaller one that locked. But anyway, for a lot of grabbing things, loosening, sliding the hose clamp down a tube, and then releasing. These are just great. They're small enough to get into all kinds of situations, large enough to grab almost anything, and then effective enough with these rotating heads to stay on task and allow you to kind of work something loose. So that's number 3. Number 4 is the step cut, or the utility knife here. This thing, especially with its spine that you can add to the strength, allowing you to use multi blades here, many of these, without worrying about snapping them off is easy. This just comes in super handy. It's a simple design, just an extra little effort put into it. And I've had this for a while, but this just, compared to a lot of utility knives, just is super simple, yet super effective. And if you're cutting foam or something like that, you can easily walk that all the way out, this extra spine right there. And that extra spine gives it so much strength. In fact, you can even use it if you don't want to get to an end as a stop. So it just has a lot more function than most utility knives. So there you go. And then last, well, I don't know what to do last because I've got a bunch and there are tons, but I think I'm going to go with this. This is the kind of the pistol grip or angled snap-on Electrician Shear. These snips have the ability to cut larger wire here. They can certainly cut stranded wire here. They're a great, super sharp snip with one blade serrated, if I can get that focus there. The other blade is a knife, so you can actually do cutting like that. It has a good lock that locks them closed right there. And you've got some crimping. When I did my video, I probably used the wrong kind of crimping. It was more of a US crimp versus a European crimp. But anyway, that's there. But they just fit great in the hand. So for cutting, which is almost all they'll do, they're great. A little bit of, cutting wire here, that's even better. Add that to it. I probably won't be using it strictly for a crimp, but I love it. And then, of course, when you've got such a nice tool like this, probably should get the Knipex sheath designed for it. Add some extra dollars to your purchase, but it's really worth it. A few honorable mentions. Knipex screwdriver, yeah, it's a good one, whatever that's worth. I have been using these a lot. There's just something about them. I tend to grab them over regular needle nose pliers, these kind of dolphin or whatever they're called, but they grab things, keep the sight lines clear. They're just super handy for what that's worth. The Knipex flush cuts, if you don't want to put out the money for a snap-on, you know, definitely something to think about, but they're even a lot less expensive ones. The step cut is just fabulous. Doesn't have a lot of alternate uses, but if you end up cutting, like in bicycle cable, if you do a lot of bike repairs, that's where something like this just is fabulous, as well as cutting any stranded wire like that. And then finally, toss these out if you don't have them yet. These here, I'll give the handle here, the 08 22 145s, little kind of a multi-plier needle nose, plus this offset here, which actually makes it grab stock material really well and hold it. They're just a great utility plier. But overall, those top 5, those are the ones that I used the most this year. In addition to the Cobras, I also moved up to the 400 millimeter Cobra for a few things. And boy, when you grab the standard 250 after that, it really does feel like one of those tiny little Cobras in your hand. You realize it is fairly small. But anyway, if you've got some Knipex tools you'd like to add to this mix, please let me know. But these are my choices for 2023. And with that, Doc out.